see.
Good evening, ghosts and ghouls. It's the one, the only JT Ripper.
And I'm Todd of Thunder.
And you're listening to a horrible podcast. But today we're going to give you our top 5 worst remakes.
Yes, indeed. Our top 5 most disliked remakes. And let me just put this in perspective. We are counting movies from 2000 until now. We're not going back 90s. We're not going back 80s. And the reason why we chose to do 2000 to now is because there are so many remakes that have been made since then. It's unfreaking believable. And, we were debating on whether to do 5 or 10. Hell, we probably could do 15. At least I could.
Yeah, I could have kept going with this list. This list literally took me like 5 seconds to make 10 alone.
Yeah. But we stuck to 5 so we can elaborate why we really dislike these films. And, maybe tell you why we liked the original and how it worked and how this one just didn't. So, yeah, it should be a pretty fun episode.
Yeah, I think the horrible mention I'm going to start off with before I go into my top 5 is going to be the Poltergeist remake. I don't know. Is that on your list by chance?
If we were doing a top 10, it landed at number 8.
Okay, cool. I didn't want to shit in your top 5 quite yet. All right. They fucking missed the ball on this one. Like, it fucking boring. Like, I don't know what fucking movie they watched as a kid. I don't even think they fucking watched the original. They just wanted to make their own fucking cash grab on the Possession franchise and just slap Poltergeist on it.
Yeah, they definitely... the thing that made the original Poltergeist movie so charming was that it was a horror movie, but it almost had this... how do I want to put it? It wasn't... It was scary, but it wasn't horrifying. You know what I mean?
It was like suspenseful, like
right.
The atmosphere.
Like, it was horrific, but you didn't feel bad if you let your kids watch it.
Right, exactly.
Because like the whole family could sit down and watch it and get a little spook out of it.
Right. It was just one of those like atmosphere movies, and like where your mind made it scarier than what it was.
Right.
And the only thing scary about the remake is how bad it is.
Yeah, the remake took all the charm out of it and tried to make it this serious movie, and it's like...
The characters sucked.
Yeah, the characters really sucked, and it was like by the time that they'd done this, the whole like possession like thing had been done to death, and it was like... everything good about the original film, they just took a big old poo-poo on it.
Yeah. Fuck them. May their diddlies turn black and fall in the crapper.
Well, I guess I'll mention an honorable mention, and this might shock some people, but this is a 2021 movie, and it's Wrong Turn.
Okay.
And the reason why I have this as an honorable mention is not because it's a bad movie, but because this movie had absolutely jack dick to do with the Wrong Turn series. They made a movie. They didn't think that they made a good enough movie to release this as its own thing. So they took a popular title and they stuck it on there that had absolutely nothing to do with the original.
Poltergeist.
Worser than Poltergeist.
No, I'm saying, like, they just...
At least in Poltergeist, you had a fucking clown under the bed.
Right. Yeah, you're talking about the one where it's, like, cult involved and shit like
that.
Yeah,
it's a cult in the woods.
Yeah.
That's it. They didn't have the balls to release this under a different title and say, hey, we made a pretty good original type of movie. They slapped the Wrong Turn title on it, and they released it, and that gave people they're like, oh, this is Wrong Turn. And that's how this is what you call a cash grab. Yeah. And even though the movie wasn't bad, I still say fuck them for doing stuff like that.
Yeah, and I hate that because it actually wasn't that bad of a movie.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad of a movie, but it is definitely, when you talk about a remake, it's fucking horrible.
Right, exactly.
Because it's not it's promoted as a remake, but it's not a remake. That makes it extra fucking horrible.
Facts. All right, I guess I'll jump into my top 5. Normally, the Tide of Thunder kicks it off, but I guess I'll kick it off today. Why not? We're going to talk about number 5, Black Christmas, 2019. Right?
Yeah. Yep. There's been two remakes, one in 2006 and one in 2019.
2006 one I actually didn't mind. 2019. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. I hate you. You fucking went woke. Oh, god damn you to hell. You fucking ruined this movie. Like, you fuck you and your whole fucking women pride shit. You fucking eat fish heads and fucking rot in fucking Camelot.
Well, I don't know if I can top that, but...
You took a shit on a movie I fucking love. You didn't keep true to it. Fuck you. I hate you. I would resurrect you again just to bring you back and shit on you.
Yeah. I might have some words for it later on in my list, but I get my number 5 is The Wicker Man from 2006. Everybody knows why this movie is bad.
Yeah.
What people don't want to talk about is, we don't want to talk about like the first hour of this movie. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it actually ain't bad.
No, up until the last scene in this movie's not bad. It might be a little boring, a little slow, but the original Wicker Man is slow and boring.
Yeah.
Honestly. It's still a good movie, and it's still a classic, but... You know, if you watch it for the first time, you might think it's a little slow and boring.
Yeah.
The
bees!
Yeah, that's the scene where pretty much...
They're in my mouth!
That's the scene that pretty much puts this movie on this list. Horrible. They couldn't think to edit that out or get him to just scream and just holler in pain. They had to do this. And for that sole reason, that movie is on this list, and it should be.
It's actually not on my list, but it's on my list, if that makes sense. It was on my top 10. It was like right at number 6.
Yeah. And this, by the way, this remake is from 2006.
I agree with everything you said. It's actually not bad. I think it's actually a little bit more interesting than the original. I think Nicolas Cage done a pretty damn good job, except for the ending. The ending, like, you can have a great film, and if you have a fucking shit ending, it doesn't matter, because it will stand the test of time, like the ending to this movie.
Yeah, this movie...
Probably everybody knows that scene, but they don't know that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's so bad that one particular scene got popular, and the fact that this movie seemed like it was directed by two different people. The first person directed the first part of it. That was a pretty good movie. And then they just got like this B-rated first-timer come in and like totally just unfuck everything that's been tightly fucked.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'll jump into my number 4. I feel like it's on your list somewhere. It might be, I don't know. The Ring. 2004? 2002. Excuse me, 2002. Let me say this. I hate the fucking original. Was it Ringu? The Japanese version. I don't like Japanese horror. I don't particularly think that it's that good. I think this movie is stupid. I didn't find it scary then. I don't find it scary now. I honestly, like, going back and like looking over this list, I've rewatched some of these movies, and It's still fucking boring. I hate the concept. I hate the little girl. The CGI effects are terrible. We won't even go into the sequel. The sequel is fucking even worse. The CGI deer, that's all I gotta say about that. Like, fuck this movie on all cylinders.
Yeah, I don't hate it as much as you. And it's not on my list. And I actually don't mind the first one. But I think the second one is goddamn awful.
It is.
And
it's worse.
Yeah, like I said. Well, my number 4 is kind of a companion to you because I guess it did start off as a Japanese movie, which I'm also not a fan of. I think Japanese make horrible fucking horror movies. They just don't appeal to me. I guess because over there, like, they're not, like, really... I don't know how their culture is, but they really get spooked by, like, ghosts and shit like that. Like, that's, like, their most spookiest shit ever. So all of their fucking movies are about, like, ghosts and demons and shit like that, and that's it.
Yeah.
They need to... They need to stick to their Godzilla movies, honestly. But mine is The Grudge.
I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, mine is The Grudge. I hate all movies in the Grudge series, including the Japanese movies, the 2004 movie, the sequel to the 2004 movie, and maybe the worst one of all, the 2020 movie. I think all of them suck a big bag of hammer dicks. Where can I start? I mean, if you think that a little Japanese boy making a cat noise, yeah, if that is your scariness, cool. You must be one scared little bitch. Now, I'm not the kind of person that thinks that every horror movie needs to scare me in order to be good. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of horror movies that are my favorite that don't scare me one bit. But this movie, the concept, the whole thing is fucking stupid. And that's why it's on my list at number 4, all of the movies. I haven't seen one Grudge movie where I sat there and I was like, I kind of like this. No, every single one from beginning to end was like pulling fucking teeth.
Well, to piggyback off of what you said, and to jump into my number 3, is The Grudge. I hate this goddamn series. I hate every fucking one of these movies. 2020 managed to take what I hate and make it boring. Like, you took what I fucking despised and made it boring. Yeah. Like I already fucking hated it, and now it's fucking boring. The other ones were at least a little bit watchable compared to this. I'm sitting here just fucking wanting to pluck my nut hairs out to pass the goddamn time.
Yeah, it's kind of like eating... It's like having a certain food that you don't like that has salt on it, and then you just take the salt off. So now it sucks and it's boring.
Yes. So, and it was fucking, God, it was the guy from what, Harold and Kumar, the Asian guy. He was behind this movie. Fuck you, you piece of shit, you fucking twat, you fucking boring fucking butt sucker. Like, fuck you and this fucking franchise. May you fucking rot in hell, feed you fish heads, and fuck off.
Yeah. And I hope you guys are real excited about all the technical talk we're talking.
Yeah. I can't even start. Like the Grudge movies aren't scary. They're not shot well. They have this greenish bluish tint to them. I don't understand why. There's nothing scary about it. All the actors and actresses involved in them are garbage. Like, I can go on, like, the score is stupid. The concept is stupid. Like, there's nothing to get behind. And did I mention that 2020 made everything I just said that and boring?
Not to mention the fact that the same Japanese guy that made the Japanese version made the American version. He remade his own movie for the American audience.
And failed.
Well, I was going to say he sucked twice.
Congratulations, you still suck.
I guess my number 3 is going to be a controversial one because a lot of people seem to like it, but I thought it sucked dick, and that is Candyman 2021. Oh. I thought this movie was absolutely a pile of incoherent dog shit. It was incoherent dog shit. Comparing this film to the original film is a fucking insult. Okay? Now, I wish that I had the vocabulary to articulate why I hate these films, but I don't. So I'm just going to stick to this movie was fucking retarded.
Well, let me tag in on that and jump into my number 2, Candyman 2021. And I'll try to articulate a little bit of why I fucking hate this movie. It went woke. First of all, you go woke, you go broke. That's just my point of view. I fucking have been dying for them to, like, make a new Candyman. I fucking think that, we have this conversation. It's like one of those horror icons that deserves all the fucking praise in the world. Right. Tony Todd is the fucking man. Alright? This movie, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. Okay, so you have the concept of Candyman who kills everybody, and then you're gonna take it and make it to where he kills white people. Excuse me, that he killed one black girl. But you're making it like it's a white versus black thing, yeah, and that's wrong. First of all, you have the main character who is just a struggling painter and his wealthy girlfriend in Chicago, and they're struggling, like they're oppressed. They're not fucking oppressed. They're living in a fucking, like, condo.
Right.
Like, they're not oppressed. He's not oppressed. They shit on his artwork because it wasn't good. Woe is me.
Right. Like, just because you haven't reached your goals and your dreams yet doesn't mean you're oppressed. It means that you're still on your journey. And if somebody tells you that your work is dog shit, it's not because of the color of your skin. It's because your work is dog shit.
Right. The original Candyman was a black man, a black slave,
who fell in love with a white woman.
And they fucking killed him because of the color of his skin. That's oppression. That's not right. That's not okay.
And he didn't even go after white people. Like, that wasn't his main goal. He could have easily just went after white people because of what happened to him. He had a reason to. But they didn't do that because they knew that that wasn't the smart way to go. This needed to be a villain. If he would have went just after white people, he would have been an anti-hero to the African American community. Right or wrong. Because they would have watched this movie and they would be like, well, hell yeah, I'd go after them white folks too. They would have done that to me. But they didn't do that. They made him a villain. He killed everybody. He didn't give a fuck what color you were. You came and fucked with him, or you said his name, or, whatever. He killed you.
Yeah, simple as that. And this movie took that and went political with it.
Yeah.
And made all the white people in this movie stupid. All the cops in this movie were bad and white. Like, if you wanted to, like, make your own, like, horror movie and then do this, by all means, don't shit on the franchise like Candyman for no fucking reason at all.
Right.
Like, and I can't, like, okay, all the people, like, okay, I like the concept of, like, different Candyman, you know, different people that was, you know, went through hard times and oppressed and, like, real struggles, which all the ones that, you know, that did the backstory to it went through a hard time. Like the main one in the movie, you know, was, you know, he gave candy to the kids and stuff like that, and then, you know, come to find out that they beat him to death because he was black. That's not right. That's oppression.
Right.
Like, okay, and all these people that you know, that play Candyman are, you know, are victims of society. Okay.
The problem is that the main guy in this movie had no fucking backstory to justify him being Candyman.
Right, exactly. You're a shitty fucking painter. Woe is you. Like, fuck this movie.
Right.
On all cylinders.
He might as well would have been in fucking Starbucks and the fucking waitress.
Sipping his fucking latte. Excuse me, there's not enough extra skim milk in this. I'm oppressed.
Right.
Fuck you. Fuck this movie. Fuck him and feed him fish heads.
Well, you touched on it a little earlier, but my number 2 is 2019 Black Christmas.
Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it!
And everything you said, yeah, this movie... First of all, it goes back to what I said about Wrong Turn. It has absolutely zero to do with any type of backstory to the 2006 or the 1974 original Black Christmas. This was a movie that they wanted to go woke and get out their woman is power message, and all the dudes are fucking stupid. And they used a popular title, Black Christmas, to draw people in. It certainly drew me in. I see Black Christmas, I have a certain thought in my head. I watched this, and I wanted to go to the bathroom and have diarrhea after I watch it.
Yeah, fuck this movie. Like, you didn't stick... There's nothing about this that's even Black Christmas, except for the title. And I mean, and... Oh, God.
Honestly, I don't want to alienate anybody out there, but if you watch this movie and you like it, then I probably don't want to be your friend.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
because they made this movie for people like you, and people like us don't like people like you, and that's okay. We're allowed not to like each other. But yeah, I don't like anything about this movie. Yeah, I think it's absolutely dog shit.
I just want to say this. Keep your political and your point of views to yourself. Like, keep whatever political party you belong to, keep it to yourself. If you are, if you're a feminist, cool. Keep that shit to yourself. Don't push your religion. Don't push your ideology on me. Period. Yeah. And that's the problem with these movies that we're talking about, is that they want to push their point of views on us for no fucking reason, or just to get us on board with them. And I'm not on board with you. If anything, I'm throwing you off the fucking ship.
Yeah, it's cool if you believe in something, but don't push it on people.
Right. If you're gay, cool. If you are Christian, cool. If you're not Christian, you're a Satan worshiper, cool. If you like to worship the spaghetti monster in the sky, great. Don't push it on nobody. Keep it to yourself. Keep thy religion and thy views to thyself. George Carlin.
Yeah. And that's what a movie like Candyman and Black Christmas, that's why they take, the number 3 and number 2 spots on my list, man, because I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Exactly. We come here for a good story and good gore. Don't give us your fucking your views. And I'm pretty sure that your number 1 and my number 1 are the same.
Yes, as much as we hate all those movies we just mentioned, and much as we hate the political bullshit messages trying to get out, our number one is a movie that the original is so near and dear to our heart, and they just fucking butchered it so much that we can't help but have it at number one, and that's from 2010, and that's A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. Okay, first thing I want to get off my chest with this goddamn movie is that Freddy Krueger was a child killer up to this point.
Right.
He did not become a fucking pedophile until this fucking movie. And this movie has fucking ruined his name. Fuck you.
Yes. I understand that they wanted to make Freddy more serious.
Which is fine.
Which is fine. They wanted to get rid of some of the one-liners that he's known for. Okay. But the way that they do it is to make him a pedophile. Yeah. Bad idea.
Yeah, because it has shit on the legacy. Everybody is like, refers to Freddy Krueger now as the pedophile.
Right. But you know what? It didn't really work because you go to Spirit Halloween, they still sell Freddy Krueger outfits. You go to talk to anybody, Freddy Krueger's still one of their favorite slashers. You listen to other horror podcasts, they talk nicely about most of the movies in the Nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy. Right. So you know what? And it seems to be a general, like, thought that this movie is fucking terrible.
Like, there's nothing about this movie I like. Everybody in this movie is forgettable. I hate everybody in this movie.
Yeah, nobody in this movie, the cast, was not likable at all. Nobody in here, I mean, every character in this movie was like watching paint dry. And if you want me to care about these characters, why would you make them the way that they were? Like, why should I care if Freddy is going to pick these people off one by one if they already show me that they would probably kill themselves anyway?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
they're all, like, there's nothing wrong with, like, okay, there's severely depressed people, and then there's the emos that just like the look. These kids were, like, regular, like, emo, I don't even know how to call them. Like,
I don't know, because some of them were, like, it looks like nothing would be wrong with them.
Yeah, they look like normal people. Like, they don't dress like you would call... That was my point that I was trying to get across. Some people dress emo because they like the look of it.
Right.
Then some people dress regular and they're severely depressed, so you wouldn't use the word emo to describe them.
Right.
These kids were, like, in between that. Like,
yeah, it was awkward. It's like you could tell that they didn't believe the way they were acting.
Right. And, like, they had no reason for it, really.
Right.
It's like they didn't establish a background. Like, when you watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street and you see Heather Langenkamp's character, Nancy, she's not like this emo girl that's just, like, you know, walking around all depressed. She kind of gets fucked up through the movie.
Right.
Every character in this movie was already fucked up.
Yeah.
And the reason why they were fucked up, the reason given, is because they were molested by Freddy, but they don't remember it.
But they're sad because
it happened? They're sad, but they don't know why they're sad. This movie was fucking stupid.
Right. And I can't think of his name that played Freddy.
Jackie Earle Haley, who is a wonderful actor.
Yes.
But in this role, and look, I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he got a paycheck. He said the lines that was written for him. He put on the makeup that was there for him. But he sucked as Freddy.
He did.
Anybody playing that role with that particular script, if Robert Englund would have played Freddy with this script, it would have been the worst fucking nightmare movie it ever made.
Yes. That's exactly what I was getting to.
And I'm a big proponent of the only person that can play Freddy is Robert Englund. But this script is so fucking bad that even him, as Freddy, wouldn't have saved this movie.
At all. And that's what I was about to get to. And, okay, I get that they wanted to have a realistic look to Freddy being burned, but my thing is, you can try to make it realistic, but at the end of the day, he's still a fucking demon.
Right. He's a demon from your dreams. If he doesn't look like a real burnt victim, it's because he's a demon from your fucking dreams. He doesn't have to look like a real-life burnt victim.
Right, exactly. Like, I mean, they could have did that and then, changed it up or something. But
now think about this. Think about if he would have looked how he always looked in the dream, but once you pull him out of the dream, he looks like a real burnt victim. Yeah. Maybe that would have been a cool concept.
That would have been pretty neat.
Because in your dreams, you're going to make it look worse than what it is.
Right.
Like, because it's all fantasy.
Yeah.
And he could make himself look as vicious as he wants to, and he can make you look. He can do anything in your dreams.
Right.
I mean, it's all manipulation. But he might have looked like a real burnt victim, but I don't want to see a real burnt victim in my fucking horror movie about a dream demon who's killing you when you're asleep.
Yeah.
You can't mix in reality and what happens in the real world with a fantasy horror movie.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. And I fucking hate the way this movie's shot. It has this grayish tint to it. It's very dark looking.
The entire movie had this
flat.
The entire movie had this depression feel to it.
Yeah.
Well,
it definitely made me depressed.
It was one of those movies. I have absolutely nobody to cheer for in this movie. I'm not cheering for the villain. I'm not cheering for the so-called heroes. I'm not cheering for anybody in this film. I just wanted a fucking bomb to go off and kill everybody involved.
Right, exactly. You don't go for the parents, you don't go for the kids, you don't go for Freddy.
No.
Nobody wins in this movie. And the ending was stupid.
Yeah, it's like when they finally drag him out of the dream world into reality and they cut his neck or whatever they do, cut his head off, I can't even remember. But that should have been a moment where people cheer and go, finally the hero has prevailed. But these characters are so goddamn dull that it was like a fart in church. I didn't care.
Yeah. And then, she looks in the mirror and then Freddy pulls her in and then it cuts off.
Yeah.
So they didn't kill him?
I don't know. I think that New Line Cinema knows that this movie was dog shit. And I think that's why they haven't revisited this and they haven't tried it again.
Yeah.
And
it can be done.
Yeah, it could be done.
A remake can be done.
There was
and
talk,
you can get somebody to play Freddy Krueger other than Robert Englund.
Well, there was talk a while ago that maybe Kevin Bacon would have been a good choice, and Robert Englund himself has said that if he could pick one person to play it, he would pick Kevin Bacon.
And you can get you can get probably a good 5 movies out of Kevin Bacon, and Kevin Bacon's pretty involved in the horror genre.
Yeah, he's made Tremors. He's made Stir of Echoes. He was in the original Friday the 13th, so he's no stranger to the horror world. He just came out with
They and Them.
Yeah, that movie sucked, but
still
just drives home the point that we were trying to make about him being involved in horror.
He's not ashamed of doing horror movies, and I'm pretty sure if you put a big budget behind A Nightmare on Elm Street, and put Kevin Bacon in it, you're gonna get a great fucking Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Well, those were our top 5 most disliked remakes.
Fuck them all in the neck.
And, the next episode will be much more joyous because this will be our top 5 most like remakes. So
from the
we
2000s.
From the 2000s, we will be in a much better mood than these horrible movies put us in.
Yeah, and everybody that was involved in these movies, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, fuck you, feed you fish heads.
Yep, so toodaloo.
And eat a big bag of dicks, all of you, every last one of you.